Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts HD Dream Drop Distance playthrough. It is time to go through Riku's version of The Grid. And this one's going to be quite fun because this is actually much more in line with the story of Tron Legacy, which I still haven't watched yet. But that's fine. So we just need to get one prize point before time runs out. That sounds pretty easy, and I mean, to be fair, it is. But that kind of prize point is quite a ways into this. And there are a lot of things blocking your way and attacking you. So you do kind of just want to blitz on down as much as you can, really. I don't believe I'm going to end up getting a gold star ranking on this, but that's okay. We'll do it later. It'll be fine. And really, I should just stop hitting into things, because it's clearly not a very smart way of getting through this at all. But either way, we did finish it in the end. wasn't the best run of that. Yeah, definitely a B rank. But here we are in the grid. The first time Riku's actually visited this place in any form, so it should be a nice time for him.
Is this world special?
Yes, it is, because it changed your clothes. Brilliant.
Let's see how this plays out.
Another stray.
Are you a prisoner?
Yeah, it looks that way.
Name's Sam.
I'm Riku. Where are we, Sam?
We're on the grid.
You're in luck. Only a precious few are granted light cycle battle privileges.
You gonna explain why it's so lucky?
I'll show you.
How hard can it be?
And so, we begin with the light cycle, which is quite fun. It's definitely a lot easier to control than it was in Kingdom Hearts 2. A lot easier to control than it was in Kingdom Hearts 2. But there are potential pitfalls that you can run into here. And that is because you can't heal in any way, shape or form. So, and you have actually got to do quite a bit to get out of this. So, it's a bit of a challenge. The main thing that you want to do is you want to be ahead of your opponents and to de-res them like that. Because if you do it sort of with the ribbon, it's just so much simpler. And if anybody sort of gets ahead of you or whatever, then you generally do need to change mode to the assault shot. But doing a little bit of a jump can tend to sort of get you in front of them if necessary. think the one thing with this light cycle is that it can get a little bit dull, I suppose, because it's difficult to tell when enemies are coming up behind you, so at times you're just riding around like this and nothing's really happening. Because you're not pressing forward, this sort of just moves automatically, you just move left to right. Which is fine, it works, but it's not the most exciting thing in the world. There are then these enemies, these guards, who will just fly in front of you, and the only way of hitting them is through the assault shot. But they don't take too long to go down. The thing is that you definitely want to make sure that you've got as much health as possible as you go through this. Do not get hurt that much, because otherwise you are going to regret it very shortly, because there's a little bit of a boss that you're going to have to deal with. Yes, there's Blighter right here. So basically, you want to stay in front of him for as long as possible until he does that, and then jump the hell out of the way, at which point you switch over to your assault shots and go that route. The only thing that I don't quite understand is sort of how to get out of the way of certain attacks. The thing that I found that sort of works is whenever he goes in to do his little slashy thing, is to sort of jump over to the opposite direction. That seems to work, but it is a little bit weird, and the fact that you can't heal at all does get relatively frustrating. And if you've lost a lot of health initially, then yeah, you're quite likely to die on this point. Totally not talking from experience in the very same recording session that I did this. Totally not. My edit was just not. My edit was clearly not very seamless at all. I mean, actually no. To be fair, it was quite seamless. You would not have been able to tell that I mucked that up the first time I played it had I not mentioned it. Thankfully, the reason that edit was quite seamless is because it all matched up quite neatly. Other times, it definitely does not.
I think I've had enough entertainment for one day.
Riku! You made it. You escaped from the games.
Yeah.
I know a way off the grid. Want to come with?
No. You go ahead. Wait, what's the way out?
Through the portal.
Portal?
Yeah. It's like a gate that opened when I came here. Once I'm back in the real world, I can delete Clue. And then my dad will be able to come home.
Your dad?
He vanished 20 years ago when he came here to the grid. But because he needed to protect his disc from Clue, he went into hiding. He's been trapped there ever since. But I'm gonna change that.
I see. Sam, you mind if I go with you after all? To the portal?
Sure. I'll take what help I can get. But first there's somebody I need to meet. He's in the city.
And now we get a delightful flashback, which is going to deal a little bit more with
I couldn't get to the portal.
Sam and his father.
It uses massive power and it can't stay open forever. And like a safe, it can only be opened from the outside. It closed on me, Sam. That's why I never came home.
So the portal, it activated when I came in. So it's open now.
Not for long. Only 1 millicycle. About 8 hours.
So we go now. We go home. We make a run for it. We get you out of
Sam,
here.
Don't rush.
What do you mean, don't rush? The portal's gonna close.
My disc is everything, Sam. It's the master key. The golden ticket. The way out. And not just for me.
What do you mean?
Our worlds are more connected than anyone knows. Clue figures if I can be in,
He can be out?
with my disc, it's possible.
And then what?
Game over. The guy doesn't dig imperfection. What's more imperfect than our world? I can't let that happen. I won't.
So what do we do? Nothing?
It's amazing how productive doing nothing can be. Clue is planning something. We've known that for a while. It's his game now. The only way to win is not to play.
Yeah, well, that's a hell of a way to live.
But it is a way. Sometimes life has a way of moving you past things like wants and hopes.
That's great, Dad. Keep telling yourself that.
Good night, Sam.
So, yes. We've got a time limit now. Well, we don't have an actual time limit, but Sam has a time limit to get the hell out of here. So, yeah, it's 8 hours. It's not going to take us 8 hours, I can tell you that much. I think I'd go insane if this world lasted that long. No, it's going to take us about 2 parts to do the full story for the grid. Which is notably less than it took us for Sora, and that's because I'm not going to completely screw up the Sailor Surfer as I did last time. Solar Sailor, not Sailor Surfer. Oh god. Clearly the grid is driving me nuts. Like, just losing sanity. Out the wazoo. Oh well, it's all good. But hey, one thing I didn't point out, I think, whilst we were with Zora, is that we made an Escar Glow. And in making an Escar Glow, we finally have a way of accessing, I believe it is, once more a second chance, which I can't remember anymore which one it is. I'll know it when I see it again. But it's one of those two. So, I am very, very excited, and we'll be sticking with our Escar Glow until we have that, and I can, you know, rest safe and sound knowing that combos / fatal hits are not going to completely obliterate me, because that's never fun. But yeah, we basically explore exactly the same areas with Riku as we do with Sora. I think the only bit that we don't really go to, I don't know. We go everywhere with Riku, and actually a little bit more, because there's an extra room that we get to enjoy. That's one way of putting it. I mean, it's basically just one room with a bunch of enemies in it. And we don't even get to enjoy it now. We have to come back to it after we've beaten the world. Once again, another one of those. Yay, how delightful. And actually, I believe that sort of it's the same with the upper level of the docks as well, that we don't get to explore until after the world is beaten. It's kind of sucky, but I suppose it happens. And something that's probably worth bringing up now, actually, that I didn't bring up when we were with Sora, but which is worth bringing up, is that whole thing of Data doesn't dream. And obviously, if you're a bit of a sci-fi nut, like me, then you know that that's a very philosophical question to start going down, because obviously there's do androids dream of electric sheep? AKA Blade Runner, as most people know it. Well, the film is called Blade Runner, the novel that it's based on is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And it's an interesting question of AI and reality, and can artificial intelligence feel and all that jazz. It's a fascinating topic, and I do really like it when that gets investigated in things.
Some time till I get back.
Oh, great, thank you. Fine, I'll go on a bloomin' Dream Eater killing spree, I'm sure it'll do.
Glad I get to fight more than boredom.
Yeah, exactly. Would have been a very exciting world if it was just like, yeah, just wait for 5 minutes for Sam to get back with his contact. Be great fun! No, it would not. So, just time to murder, basically. Now, funny story. There is actually a special portal that is going to be here in Riku's version of the grid, which I did try to beat. But, yeah, well, at this point in time anyway, it didn't go very well. Not in the slightest. So I believe that it's the rare Yogi Rams or Cyber Rams. It's one of the two. Basically what they do is they sort of run forward, bashing their horns, which are on fire, and they're quite deadly. But there's a lot of them in this sort of very small place. It's actually around here that the portal is. And it's a challenge, and the special challenge on it is don't use any of your triangle commands. Brilliant, very helpful. And because of where we are in terms of our health right now, it's really challenging to actually beat that challenge. And I mean, actually to beat the portal as well is a bit of a challenge, even without that, because they just go in for the kill! And it can just be very irritating to get out of the way. I mean, it's totally possible. I'm sure most other people probably could do it, but I just seemingly had an absolute nightmare. And I tried it, and I tried it, and I tried it, and it just did not go well for me. So, in the end, I did end up having to just go, you know what, sack it, don't care, it's not happening, I'll leave this until the end of the game when I decide whether I actually want to try and collect all of the special portals. In the end, it was, yes, I do want to collect all of their special portals, but you know, when I start these things, sometimes I don't always know what I'm going to do. And then, you know, I give myself all the more work, and I'm just like, oh, me, why did you think this was a good idea? But hey, all those Dream Eaters are defeated, and it's time to meet Sam's contacts!
Sam!
Who's this?
I'm Riku. Sam and I were on our way to the portal.
Come with us.
Where are we headed?
The portal. But we need a solar sailor. There's one in the underground docks.
So, you know, you just weren't gonna tell me you were gonna go? I mean, bit of a dick move, Sam, like, seriously.
Your disc. Dad. It's gone.
It is. She's stable.
We have to go back. Clue will use it to reach the outside world. I can stop him from destroying it if you just let me do this.
You've done enough already.
So what do we do now?
I don't know. Nothing. We do nothing. Be still. Wait. We can hop a solar sailor. A full-on sprint to the portal. We can beat Clue there. Let's get her out of here.
Well, I mean, that looked like it was a wonderful family time. Also explains why Cora's just completely conked out and not doing sweeps at all. But hey, these things happen, and basically, yeah, it just means that we're gonna go head towards the docks and the solar sailors, and we're gonna have a delightful time. Also, can I just say, it's really hard to get Wheel Rush to hit any of the enemies. It's ridiculously short range. Like, surprisingly so, and you can only do it in very few places. And this is one of them. Because Wheel Rush is where you hit a structure kind of that's horizontal and allows you to, like a pole that's horizontal, allows you to wheel round it. Whereas the other one, I think, is Buzzsaw, whatever it is. That's when you hit a pole that's vertical. And that one's really easy to get everywhere, but the Wheel Rush, I can only really think of, yeah, here in the grid, where that is a place where you can use it. And it's just a pain to hit, and yeah, that was me attempting many times to do the secret portal that's here, and failing miserably. So in the end, it was just like, right, I'm gonna murder these guys because I want that experience. I'm not going without that experience. Okay, thanks, bye. And yeah, it just meant that I was sick of this at this moment in time. So I just wanted this battle over very quickly, so that I could move on and have a wonderful time. And I wanted prize box. That would have been quite nice, but switch targets, I can live with that, and that just makes it easier to kill him because he's not actually focused on shooting me. I think actually at this point we've probably seen all of the commands that you can do with the reality shift in the grid. There's an achievement, apologies for that, a trophy for it that you can get on the PS4 version, which is great, very helpful. It's really not that difficult to get in the grand scheme of things. And oh look, I went and tried it again, and it didn't go very well. But it's fine, I have got more enemies to murder here again, which means more levels for me! I'll take whatever levelling up I can get, really. And also, I am super close, admittedly. It's only like 300, yeah. At this point, it makes sense to level up, because clearly I am slightly struggling with some of the more difficult enemies. And it is probably for the best. It's not going to be as long a grind as I have done in the past. I mean, I remember when I did Kingdom Hearts 1, all those years ago, a very long time ago now, and I spent quite a while leveling up in the is the Gizmo shop, I think, gadget shop, Gizmo shop, one of the two. That's the portal. It's nasty, not recommended. Yeah, I spent ages levelling up in there because I very, very, very much wanted to be ready to take on Leon so that I could actually win that fight. And of course I did, because I was trying to be a complete badass, and wow, I've not done great so far. I mean, really, we've not explored that much of the grid yet. So I can live with that. But yes, Quasimodo, we are going to level you up. It's going to be delightful. That was a bit of a waste. Because what I really should have gone for and wanted is getting in those links so that I can get that lovely, lovely ability down at the bottom. But clearly that wasn't on my brain. And we're still not there yet with Seymour. Oh well. And there was more enemies. This is what happens when you go and tackle things and then save and then just go, yep, try something and then die and then have to redo all the fights again. But it does work out. Although, yeah, they don't have a prize shot, and it's quite fun controlling Dream Eaters to draw them over to your foes and then go BOOM! There's that slightly sadistic side of me coming in again. I do worry sometimes. I think it's the part of me that decided that I now like horror films. Because if you'd have asked me, didn't mean to go in there, there was a chest. I'm pretty sure there was a chest and I just ran past it if I didn't pick it up already. Oh, that's embarrassing. But yeah, there are certain moments where that sort of side of me comes up and I'm just like, right, that's there, that's a part of me. Okay, interesting, because like if you'd asked me, right, 5-10 years ago whether I would be into horror, the answer would have been very much a resounding no. Why would I like horror? Like, ew. It's just not great, and I don't like being scared and all that jazz. Whereas now it's just like, oh, I do love a bit of horror. Don't really scare me at all. Like, I mean, even when they are quite scary, I'm just like, it's nothing. I just want to see the blood and guts and gore. And if you can sort of make me on edge, brilliant. I'll be totally down with that. I'm basically just a massive weirdo in that respect, because yeah. Oh, thank God, finally got the counter aura. But yeah, I'm just a massive weirdo because generally you look at me and just like, oh, he'd be into like all the sort of fun, cute things. Yeah, I am. Like, I watched Disney's Christopher Robin the other day and just spent most of it just going, oh, Pooh Bear, you're the most adorable thing ever. Just like, yeah, I did spend, it was about 2/3 of that film just going, oh, getting, you know, higher and higher and higher in pitch. Until I went like supersonic. But yeah, I actually really like horror. Watched an Indonesian one today, actually. Was quite fun. It was on Netflix. It's how I've seen a lot of horror at the minute. Netflix. Really good for horror. Anyway. It's actually going to be be quite nice, because you're going to get to see a bit of the grid that you didn't actually get to see with Sora, in terms of this kind of dock area. And it's sort of the top level bit, 'cause obviously we're in here, which is great, and this is the bit that we had to go into later in the with Sora once we've beaten the world, whereas here we just get to go into it automatically with Riku, which is nice. But we are going to be able to, you know, go through that door that right there that we didn't go through with Sora, and that's going to get us into another bit of the docks, and that is quite nice. Yes, taking the lift all the way down. Wish it had been a bit shorter, because there was no need to make me wait that long. But there we go. So yes, this is actually quite a fun little room, because you've got this glass structure. Well, glass structure. It's a window. Clearly, my brain. Not altogether there right now. And yes, you auto-destruct. I believe it's 2 of the cannons, and that will completely smash the window, allowing you to jump through it, which is just a really cool way of progressing through a room. I really like that as an idea. It doesn't really get used anywhere else, but it's fun all the same, and it leads us to this bit, which is where we are able to get the Solar Sailor and progress. So obviously, before we actually do any of that, we're going to link up and murder, and then we're going to catch that Solar Sailor and head onwards to the portal in order to beat Riku's version of the grid. It's going to be delightful, but also I have the horrific feeling that we're going to be stuck in the Solar Sailor for a while. Again, not as long as we did with Sora, because, you know, I'm actually going to pick everything up the first time, hopefully. I'm not going to leave it and be like, no, I'm going back! Ah! Like a crazy person. But you never know with me in these things. Once again, it's been a while since I recorded this. Literally anything could happen. Like, I might even have seen something that I forgot to edit out. I mean, that's happened before. That's also quite embarrassing, because I'm just like, oh no, I've got to work around editing around my commentary and or, you know, I'd just go the lazy method and just go, yeah, just leave that in, let me ramble over it, it'll work out. But yes, let us save up, and then let's take this Solar Sailor out of here. As soon as I've checked my treasures. And yeah, I thought I'd missed a few. Oh well, let's go.